Hello guys, Jonesy316 here and GoshJoshGamez himself on episode 8 of the Jonesy Chinwag. We've already got one. Lucinda, how you doing? That's one of
That's my
yours.
biggest fan.
Yeah,
That's my
how
biggest
you doing,
fan right there.
Lucinda? How are you doing? Obviously, if you want to ask GoshJoshGamez any questions, you can. I am going to be asking him, obviously, some questions myself, considering the conversation we had beforehand. you know. So, obviously, about the name, GoshJoshGamez.
Yep, let me hold on. I'm pulling up your stream right
Okay,
here. Just a
I'll
second.
let you pull
Let me
it up.
get that all taken
Just
care
whilst,
of.
obviously.
There we go.
Yep.
Gosh, Josh
Yep.
Games. Yeah. So, Gosh, Josh is actually referring to kind of this critical voice that's always been in my
Yep.
brain. Like I've always kind of talked crap to myself. I'm kind of self-berating.
Yep.
I don't know. I was always real down on myself. I didn't have a lot of confidence, so I've had this voice that kind of just talks crap to me, and so I do it with gaming too. Like I've always
Yeah.
before I did streaming, I'd always just kind of talk while I was playing games, but I'd talk shit to myself. And my wife's like, "Why are you so bad at games?" I'm like, just like I don't know. So referring to Gosh Josh,
Yeah.
I started writing game reviews, and
Huh?
I always did these indie games that not a lot of other people were really into.
Yeah.
So I started it with a Gosh Josh, my internal critical voice,
Yeah.
talking crap about the game I chose,
Yeah.
and then I would go into the review defending why I chose that game. So that
Yeah.
became the format for my reviews, and it turned into this.
Well, that's quite good actually. That is myself.
We were talking about the games that we were doing
Yeah.
recently, and Lucinda mentioned Silent Hill there too,
Oh
because
yeah,
I
did
just
she?
did like for October from October 1st to 31st we played like only
Yeah.
horror games, and we made it through Evil Within 2 completely, which I did for a
Mm-hmm.
podcast review, and we made it through Silent Hill 2 completely. And I'm telling you, that is still the scariest game ever made. It was in the PS2 days, and it still
Oh
is today.
no. Yeah, I'll ask that.
If
I'll
you
ask that question in a minute. Keep going. Yeah.
it is so ridiculously frightening. Like I have asked, Lucinda will comment in the comments,
Yeah.
I'm sure, just shrieking, just absolutely shrieking.
Yeah.
And like, if you guys want to see, you mind if I drop my link tree in there, because
No,
I have
just keep.
a ton of clips on TikTok recently of Silent Hill and
Yeah. Let me just pin
Far
that
Cry
up.
and stuff.
Let me pin that up. There is Josh. There's Josh's link tree. If you want to go and drop him a follow on Twitch, you can. And whatever else is on there is the
Yeah,
YouTube.
plenty of
And,
links in there.
yeah.
I do a podcast too called Dad's Game Review with a buddy.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about that. Actually, that is one thing I need
Yeah.
to talk to you about that in a bit. But obviously, there is another question. Pineapple on pizza, does it belong?
Absolutely.
Oh
Yes.
no, Jay, you got one. Hey,
In fact,
okay, Bree, how you doing? Oh, hey, Britt, how you doing?
hey, Bree, hi.
Hi, how you
Hi, hon,
doing?
how you doing? Yeah,
But yeah,
pineapple is on pizza. In fact, my favorite pizza
Josh's reaction,
is
especially to the mannequins, was very entertaining.
oh,
Oh no,
mannequins. Like
Jay.
really fuck the mannequins.
Pineapple on pizza does belong to obviously Josh, but obviously Lemmy, it wasn't.
Well, pepperoni, bacon, pineapple, and jalapeno. You give me the sweet, the spicy, the salty, and like that is my jam right there. That is
Okay.
the best pizza.
That is a weird combination, but okay.
No, it's delicious.
That is a weird combination, but okay. Anybody to everybody to everybody's. Yeah, so obviously about the podcast, I have watched an episode of it.
Oh, did you? Which
Yeah,
one?
I can't quite remember which one now because it was quite a bit back. Because
Yeah,
obviously you sent me
we
the
only
link.
started just doing the video podcast
Yeah,
part. I've been guesting on there,
it was the
like
one you
for
sent me
the.
the link to.
Oh, okay, I think
You remember
well, we did
sending me the link?
we did Evil Within, we did Zao Tales of Kanzaro, we did Silent Hill, we did one other, but yeah, no, it's just we just started doing video reviews. Like
Yeah.
I had been guesting on this podcast for probably the last year off and on. When somebody couldn't make it, they would have me on.
Yeah.
And then his co-host, my friend Paul,
Yeah.
his co-host decided to quit a couple months ago, and so I just kind of stepped in as co-host.
Yeah.
And it's called Dad's Game Review, but I'm not a dad. I just he jokes, we'll just call him Daddy, and I'm like, do not call me Daddy, don't.
That was actually a question I wanted to ask you. Is like obviously what's it about and everything else, because obviously it is quite a good podcast.
We have fun.
Yeah, I do actually see that you have fun. To be fair, I mean, not gonna lie, especially because you talk about all the games and everything. like
Well,
detail.
we're different type of people. Like I'm
Yeah.
very animated, like energetic, and Paul's kind of laid back. And like Paul has never played an RPG in his life. I shit you not. Never
Lucid
played
Day.
an RPG. He loves like point and click adventure stuff, and he likes like I don't know action adventure and stuff. But we have completely contrasting like opinions on games. And I get him to play my indie games, and he gets me to play his action games. And
Yeah.
it's like, we just have fun reviewing stuff. It's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
I believe the Dads for Game of the Year is on that link tree too.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you the question had
There it
come.
is.
Cadbury
There's the
cream eggs.
Cadbury
How
Cream
do you
Egg
eat
question. All
yours?
right. I'm guessing you're looking for the tonguing it out answer. Is that what you're looking for? Yeah, I do. I tongue it out. I had a lot of practice in college. It's good.
So yeah, obviously about your, your personal life, obviously as well, because that's what the show
Yeah.
obviously was built around more so than obviously your streaming life. So what were you doing? What were you doing before streaming? Obviously,
Well, my biggest problem was like this: the streaming is and me joining social media and
yeah,
stuff. I was only a Facebook person. This whole joining social media, branding myself,
yeah,
streaming, was a growth thing after I spent 18 years in addiction.
yeah,
Um, I lost myself to alcohol when I was in college due
yeah,
to severe heartbreak. I actually followed a girl that I was in love with and proposed to her. We were engaged. I had to follow her from California to Wyoming because she had to move and I didn't have a choice. And I was like, I'll just throw what I can in my car and I'll follow her out there.
yeah.
And we were there for about 10 months to a year, and she got pregnant by her manager, who was 10 years older than her.
Ah,
And that broke me like right there. I
yeah,
was kicked out of my own house. I was living in like a Wyoming basement. I was drinking pints every night. Like it just got bad, and I never really crawled out of it because the one after that, she got pregnant by my best friend. So it's like I kept getting these string of like just shitty relationships,
yeah,
and never recovered. Even though I met my wife, like I'm married now, and she was a very safe relationship.
yeah,
And so even with her though, the things that were lacking in our relationship, I never crawled out of my alcoholism until 2020 actually. So
wow,
I'm about to hit 5 years sober
yeah.
in February.
Well,
And this is all a product of me discovering myself and like getting more confidence and
yeah,
relearning who I was again.
yeah.
So
So, wow, that's actually quite a good, touching story, I will say. Um, wow,
life was hard there for a while, man.
yeah,
Life was fucking just. I was suicidal. I dealt with self-harming. All the real shit that I'm sure other people have dealt with and stuff too.
yeah.
We all go through our hardest times, and addiction was my hardest times. I
Mm.
didn't know I was gonna crawl out of it, honestly. So
Wow, damn, that's quite a story, I will say. And literally, he is an inspiration on that one. I will say, I do agree with you, Lucinda, especially because obviously the to alcoholism and recovering from it, and that is quite inspirational. Considering I mean, I obviously, I pretty much have run into a lot of alcoholics that don't bother. That
yeah,
just,
I told my wife that alcohol was gonna kill me, and she needed to accept it because I had to.
yeah,
So it got that dark. It was that bad where I just didn't think I could crawl out of it. I saw no way out, and that's what you reach in
yeah,
addiction. Anybody that's dealt with addiction, you hit your bottom and you see no way out. And
yeah,
for me to pull myself out of that, like I don't know how I did it. I didn't have a lot of support. I didn't have a lot of anything. I did everything pretty much cold turkey. Locked myself in my room for a week. Like it was just, I just had enough. And
yeah.
so now I'm a happy, positive, fun person.
Hey.
I'm all freaking let's play games and
Yeah,
talk
let's
shit
play.
and
Yeah.
fucking. I have
Hey,
a good time now. I'm a happy guy now.
hey, at least you got, like I said, at the end of the day, as long as you got support there, that's the best. That's the best thing for obviously, going through a bad time and addiction and all that. Like, as long as you got the support there as well.
Well, and I do now, and that's where
Yeah.
streaming came in. Is
Oh,
that basically my whole purpose for streaming was that I didn't have anybody to talk to
yeah.
express myself, to talk about my feelings. Like I didn't have a voice. I had no voice. I couldn't speak up for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be for my community. I'm trying to be like the support figure that can. I've been through so many experiences. I can relate to you. I can empathize and
Yeah.
sympathize and just kind of be a support figure for you like I didn't have. And that's what I'm trying to do. My best friend here, Lucinda, sweetheart in chat, like I've been trying my hardest to support her in some things, and she's doing so wonderful, and I'm very proud of her, absolutely proud of her for what she's accomplishing.
Yeah.
And we try and do that in my community, just support each other.
Oh yeah, I know your community is full of support as well as other streamers I have obviously had on this show. Like obviously Lucinda, she's in there pretty much every time I'm in there, and
Yeah, she's the first one in. She popped, and that's like coming home and having your dog
yeah.
run out to you, being all happy. Like Lucinda pops up and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi." You're always here. You're a comfort.
I mean, one of them I've got to admit, one of the most inspirational stories I've heard, considering it all. I've heard.
I appreciate that. It's
Oh,
just it was my life, and I just wish I could have done it better. But the fact that I'm where I am now
hmm,
is it wouldn't it had to happen this way for me to turn out this way.
yeah.
That's what I have to say.
I lost 18 years of my life. I lived in my own little hell,
Hmm,
but I wouldn't have this much appreciation for life now, and I don't think I'd be this giving and willing to support others if I hadn't gone through that shit too.
yeah.
So that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you become a better person, is going through all that crap.
Well, yeah. Literally. So, obviously, what made you want to stream, or what made you stream? Literally.
Well, first it took just joining social media. I was only
Yeah.
on Facebook. I didn't really like social media that much. I don't know. I wasn't a very talkative person in addiction.
Yeah.
I just kind of kept to myself. I drank alone. I wasn't belligerent or anything. I
Hmm.
just kind of was killing myself slowly. And it's like I decided finally in sobriety, I had all this energy, I had all these ideas. I was participating heavily in a Facebook buy sell trade group for video
Yeah.
games and just talking my ass off with all these people about gaming. And I was like, this is fun. So I was like, well, let's try Twitter. I'll get on there and maybe talk about gaming and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then everybody kept talking me into trying streaming. And there was a period in my life towards the end of the addiction there where I didn't allow pictures of myself for like 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't allow anybody to take a picture or show me a picture of me. I didn't want to see video. I was 330 pounds. I've also lost 125
Wow.
pounds. Um, so I just didn't want to see myself. So for me to put myself on camera and stream to
Yeah.
people, like that was sounded terrifying. I couldn't even like look at myself in a camera. So the fact I'm doing this now is
Yeah.
just self growth and confidence. The fact I found my confidence in my voice and now I'm comfortable talking on camera, like that is growth over since last May when I became an affiliate in last May. So it's crazy. It's personal
Wow.
growth and one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Like
Yeah.
no joke. Because I found myself again. The community that sees me, this is
Yeah.
the realest I am any time in my life on stream. This is
Wow.
real me. So it's
Well, I've
cool.
got to admit that actually, like I said, I understand about obviously confidence and coming up on a camera and all that lot because I never really used to be the most confident person myself, so I understand that totally. Literally, because
It's just hard when you don't. I don't know. I didn't believe in anything. I
yeah,
I was a I was a really talented kid and teenager, and then I lost everything in addiction, and I
yeah,
woke up again. It was like I didn't know who I was. So streaming helped me like figure out who I was again.
yeah. Well, again, obviously, if streaming did that for you, at the end of the day, again, guys, another one that kind of beats my story.
I don't know. I just like connecting with people. That's
Yeah,
what's fun. This is a way to connect with people just through online streaming, and
yeah,
that's what gives me purpose. I mean, my job, my career is actually I'm a physical therapist for the elderly.
yeah,
So like I'm a caregiver by nature. I like taking care of people. I take care of a lot of like my wife deals with ASD. I take care of a lot of things for her that she can't manage on her own.
yeah.
So streaming just is kind of an extension of that. I just want to be out there to help others and reach out to other people, and that's the motivation.
I know that you did mention before stream, obviously, that your wife had autism, was it?
And this is something we've only like
Yeah,
really realized in the last like year or so.
yeah,
We both figured out things.
yeah.
When I got sober, I realized, holy shit, I have ADHD. I am so ADHD. Oh my god. I didn't realize I was self-medicating like my symptoms
Yeah,
because I always had forgetfulness and kind of anxiety and stuff,
yeah,
but it all got so real when the alcohol was not toning me down.
yeah.
Um, so I figured out I had ADHD, and then my wife has always had these behaviors that have just driven me crazy. Just, I'm not going to go into it, but it's just things that just aren't right in a relationship that just
Yeah.
don't feel right.
Mm.
And she is so autistic.
Hold
I don't
on.
mean that in a mean way. I don't mean that in a mean way. What happened was that her sister gave birth, and around 2 years old, her kid was diagnosed with ASD, as
Yeah.
autistic. He's kind of nonverbal too
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh.
And like when we heard that, it clicked. Like holy crap,
Yeah.
maybe my wife. Like all these things with my wife, her
Yeah.
inability to express emotion, her bad communication,
Yeah.
her just kind of being in her own world, her sensory issues. Like oh my gosh, it made a lot of sense out of our last
Mm.
18 years together. Like we've been together 18 years and I didn't realize this. It's crazy.
Neurospicy. What do you mean by that, Jay?
Neurospicy, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who else is neurospicy here?
Jay Horner, if you mean autism.
Yeah, I like that term, neurospicy.
Yeah.
Us neurodivergents can be fun, interesting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all
Literally.
neurodivergent means, and I've heard people like say that people think they say that as like a
Yeah.
elitist type of thing, or I'm better than you. It's not. All it means is that we process our information differently than other people process information. Whether you're ADHD, autistic, bipolar, whatever it is, it's just about processing information, and we got to understand how each of us do it. We all do it differently. So.
How long you been gaming then?
I started. First game ever was basketball on the Atari.
Ooh.
And that was with my friend had an Atari. I had never played one before. I was a little kid. And I can still, if I close my eyes, I can still hear the sound of basketball on the Atari. It's a very unique, effed up sound.
Oh yeah, it's
you,
the
you can
Atari.
Google it on YouTube, Atari basketball sound.
The
It's
Atari.
horrible.
Just the Atari sounds in general.
But that was my first experience, and that was probably at 6 years old. So, and then grandma got us a NES at 8, and that was the only console I ever had growing up until I bought my own PS1 with my first paycheck ever at 15. So
Josh
that
only
was
has
my
a small
experience.
collection of games.
I jumped from NES to PS1. That was and so imagine how mind blowing that was.
Yeah.
Like.
Wow.
So PS1 was my fixation. I had such a huge collection. I had my own paychecks at that time.
Yeah.
Huge collection of games. I was playing everything. My brother and I were like bonding over all these games and memories. And then PS2 was great. Played a lot of that, but then I just kind of got lost in addiction. I stopped with my hobbies. My hobbies were destroyed. I stopped playing games. I stopped playing music. I was a musician, a classical pianist for 20 years. I played 5 different instruments. Like I lost all that to addiction. And I stopped playing games, and I just stopped having fun in life. So when I got sober and I went back to gaming, that was when like I woke back up again. Like I'm having fun again. I feel like a kid again. I may be like old, but I still feel like I'm 25. So it's like.
Okay, so obviously a classic pianist.
Yeah, that was my life before I lost myself to the bottle. I started lessons at 3 years old. I was a stage performer by 7. I was a stage performer from 7 to 20, and then I even taught piano for a couple of years there. So that was my history. That was my identity before I lost myself in college.
Yeah. So
I was a singer and songwriter on the guitar. I wrote about 50, 60 songs. I used to play coffee houses and bars. I recorded 1 CD.
Wow.
Yeah, music was my life. I lost all that though. You lose yourself in addiction.
Yeah, you do. I've got to admit, damn. So obviously, what songs did you know how to play any songs on the piano or?
Oh, I was a competitive classical performer. I won all kinds of competitions and stuff, awards. I performed with local music companies. Like this is not bragging. This is literally what I was.
I'm not that person anymore, but I was just crazy accelerated at like everything I was doing as a kid and teenager, and I lost that shit. Like I don't know. I get frustrated talking about it because that was a big part of me, like music and all that. It just kind of fell.
I can understand why you get frustrated talking about it, because obviously when you lose yourself to sort of things like that, and then you wish that maybe if I hadn't, you could have gotten.
Where would I be? Like one of the dudes I competed against, he now tours nationally with artists as a cellist, and I used to beat his ass all the time in competitions. Another one I competed with, she is married to Andy Samberg. Her name, I can't think of her name right now, but I grew up with her and I competed against her. She's a harpist. So it's like where could I have gone with all this if I had stuck with it? But I'm happy where I'm at now. I love my career. I love what I'm doing. So I kind of just got to let that go.
Let's put it this way, Even though you did lose yourself to that, obviously that part of you got this part of you, and you seem to be doing well in my opinion. You seem to be doing well in
I'm
marketing.
happy with it. Yeah. And like I said earlier, it's like you have to go through all those
Yeah.
experiences in your life to end up where you are now. And I'm absolutely happy with where I am now.
Yeah.
I got healthy, I got sober, I got my wife, I've got a great job. I have a shitty little place, but it's packed with games.
Yeah. Apparently, you only have a small collection of games.
You know, 1,500. Yeah, I think I'm at. Here. I'll tell you exactly what I'm at here. Let's see. I have to keep it tracked. I have 1,531 games. I have
Fucking
31
hell.
systems. I have 55 peripherals. Yeah, I'm a collector. I always have been.
Wow.
It started with baseball cards in the 80s. Like that was my jam, was collecting.
Wow. 1,500.
And I have
That's a
about
small collection.
3,000 comics in the basement too, and a bunch of
3,000
long boxes.
comics.
I was a comic collector for a
Wow.
long time too. Just
Wow.
I think that's that ADHD fixation is collecting.
Yeah.
Like that I didn't realize I was doing, because I've always found things to collect, like
Yeah.
just random
So,
hobbies. Let's collect it.
what comics are the best then? Would you say like?
I love comics. I don't read them anymore, but man, I had so much fun getting a stack of comics from the comic book store with
Yeah.
adult money and coming home and reading like 15 comics.
Fucking hell.
Like just great.
So, which would you say is better, Marvel or DC then?
I mean, I Batman I still think is the greatest.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a Marvel person. But Batman is always going to be classic forever.
Oh,
like,
everyone says Batman's
best
the best.
shit always. Yeah.
Everyone says Batman's the best.
But my favorite, character overall is Deadpool, and has been since the
Ooh,
90s.
Deadpool.
So when they started making these Deadpool movies, I was so freaking hyped, because I have a whole collection of his original series was like 93 or something like that. 94, and I have a bunch of the original comics, and so I've loved Deadpool forever. And then when they made that X-Men Origins Wolverine crap with sewing his mouth shut and everything, like that was bullshit. So I was all pissed about that. And then they finally did the Deadpool 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And I don't go to opening night movies ever, but I was in line opening night every one of those movies, every one.
Yeah. Deadpool is one of the funniest things. Do you think Ryan Reynolds is doing a good job then?
Oh, he is so perfect for it. Holy crap. And he had been pushing for that a long time. They wouldn't give him permission to do his version of Deadpool. Like, he's a huge supporter of the comic and then loves the character, and they wouldn't let him do his own liberties with it.
Yeah.
That's why he got that X-Men Wolverine shit. And even he knew that was crap. He was like, I didn't want to do it that way. So finally, when they gave him permission and they realized how successful him doing the character was, now it's a $1 billion movie. So it's like, yay.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit like, what's his name? Hugh Jackman with Wolverine, isn't it? Perfect match.
Yeah. I love that and he said he would never touch Wolverine again after Logan. He said he was done, like the character's done, I'm done with it. And for him to come back and do that with Ryan Reynolds, like, hell yes, man.
Yeah, that
We needed that Wolverine. That was 90s Wolverine with the yellow outfit.
That movie is great, in my opinion. I have seen it, and it's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
It's not a sport, but I loved pro wrestling for most of my life.
Pro wrestling?
Yeah, all about the WWE, AEW, Lucha Underground, WCW. I watched all that stuff. I was so into all that.
I could talk about that all day.
Oh, I love it. And what sucks is what gaming actually took over. I never missed a show. Like from 2007 to about 2021, I was watching every single show that would release that I could. I was watching every pay-per-view. I had my buddy who I met in 2016 that lived with us. He moved out and he started coming over every Sunday, and we would catch up on the week's shows, and we watched pay-per-views together every Sunday. Like it was a tradition for like 4 years. So I mean that's a lot of fun memories with that.
So who would you say is your favorite wrestler then of all time?
Oh, Chris Jericho, just because personality and I've always loved his personality, his cockiness, the fact he can become these different characters, and of course Undertaker's the best always, and nothing's like the entrance. So I don't know, all kinds of favorites, and there was newer guys and stuff too. I'm not buying into the Cody thing. I know everybody loves Cody now, but his little stunt with AEW and coming back, I was like, all right, dude, fine.
Personally, I'm not gonna lie here. I wouldn't have expected you to pick Chris Jericho. So
nobody does. No,
nobody
I know.
does. That's the thing. Nobody does. The typical answers are usually like The Rock. Stone
Those are all great.
Cold.
Rock, Austin, all that kind of stuff. But consistently, since like '97, with all this stuff going on in WCW, he has always entertained me. I started with the Lion Tamer, and I watched him all the way till AEW a couple years ago. So it's like. Or not the Lion Tamer, Lionheart.
Understandable why you picked him, like I said, understandable. But it's not a usual answer I hear all the time.
No,
which is
I don't like to
surprising.
give usual answers. I try to be different.
Yeah, I know, right?
On
Tell me
purpose.
about it. You like to be different.
Yeah, totally.
Macho Man was one of you. Oh, Macho Man. He was a good wrestler, I will say. Back
Oh,
in.
Macho Man was amazing. Oh, totally bought into that hype. Yeah, all
Oh
the
yeah.
colors and everything, and screaming at the.
Now,
I was like 8 years old when
now
watching Macho Man.
I'm gonna ask you this because if we do agree on this, right? I'll if we don't agree on this, it'll be surprising. Who's the most overrated wrestler of all time?
Oh God. Well, I mean, for a while there was Roman Reigns, but overrated. I don't know. I have to think. What are you thinking?
All right, I'm gonna say Hulk Hogan.
Oh, please God, yes. Oh yeah, that's the answer. That's 100% the answer. Oh Jesus, fucking Hogan. I just finished watching the Netflix Vince McMahon documentary all the way through.
Yeah.
And I just every time I see his face pop up, it's just fucking you cocky, egotistical. You know, he wouldn't job to anybody. He wouldn't let anybody beat him. Like
Oh yeah.
he was calling shots. He had to make himself the best, and he's not even a good wrestler.
Yeah, I've got to
Whatever.
admit, the only reason I have Hulk Hogan as the most overrated is because he only did 3 moves, relatively.
Yeah, well, you know, John Cena had 5, so yeah, that's how they work.
Yeah, but still.
John Cena, I hate too. John Cena is another most overrated in my
I don't
opinion. I hate
know.
him.
I don't know.
He's funny. He's funny, but I don't find his
The only
wrestling
reason I
entertaining.
say he's not is because he did hold the company for 15 years, a good 15.
Oh, I know.
So
I know.
at the end of the day,
He always sold, and he always sold seats. I
yeah,
just hated it because he was every child's favorite. And like I actually
yeah.
I went to a pay-per-view called The Bash back in like
Oh yeah,
2009,
yeah,
and that's when he was feuding with Miz a lot,
yeah.
and Miz had won the belt or whatever. And like I got such joy out of being in the stands screaming for Miz to win and kick Cena's ass with these little kids in front of me looking at me like, what
Yeah.
are you talking crap about Cena? I'm like, Miz.
Lucinda, I can see that you're not a John Cena fan. You were going to say John Cena, so glad he's retiring. You know what? I'm going to be honest here, totally honest. Hands up. I used to like the fuck out of Cena. I used
We're
to.
bought into it, especially with the white
Because
rapper one. That was a horrible persona.
I don't know. I used to like it because he was badass back in the day, like talking like ruthless aggression era before the PG
Yeah,
era
his
hit.
freestyling was entertaining. I
Yeah,
agree.
he was badass back in the day, but then he kind of went soft during the PG era and everything, and then became a babyface too much. So it was like, yeah, that's boring now. So
Right. Yeah, the whole baby face, constant baby
yeah,
face, constant 5 moves
superhero,
of doom, and it just
superhero,
you can
Super
you can
Cena.
call the moves in order as soon as he drops
Yeah,
that first kick or whatever. Like,
bit like Hulk Hogan.
yeah, exactly. You
That's
know the
what I
legs
mean.
coming after the boot, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh god. All
yeah,
right.
exactly. Exactly. Pretty much all the time. So yeah, what the show's about as well. Trying to get people out there, trying to, you know, help them out. I mean, I will say many people will many people will be, they won't be shocked, but they'll be really surprised at how I came up with this show.
Yeah.
Because I came up with this show, funny enough, watching a podcast with John Cena on it.
Well,
Believe it
and what
or not.
inspired it?
Yeah, it was.
You were just like I can do interviews too.
Yeah, I can do interviews too.
You're doing good.
No, to be fair, I do this show more to. I mean, yeah, if I benefit from it, that's a bonus. That's bonus. But if the
Well, that's the
streamer
thing.
benefits, it's great.
Everybody knows you as the guy that helps,
Yeah,
and that's a good reputation to have. I've always known when I'm tagged in your post, you're just lending a hand, and I always appreciate it. Like
yeah,
and you're consistent too. This
mm.
isn't something you did just for attention to get your attention on yourself. I've watched you continuously do this for like the last 15 months on
Yeah.
Twitter, and just constantly helping and supporting people. So I got nothing but admiration
Oh
for
yeah,
that. That's awesome.
that's great. That's great. Like I said, I personally, if people follow me because of this, if people subscribe to me on YouTube or whatnot. By the way, the other episodes are on YouTube, just to let you know if you've missed any. The highlights are on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch them. I'm
Yeah.
trying to do more social media stuff in the evenings, and
If I get subscribers or followers or anything, watch time or whatnot, because of it, that's a bonus for me. At the end of the day, this is more for the streamer that's on it.
I finally just hit 500 followers. I feel like
Really?
I've worked my ass off to finally hit those 500 because it just felt like it came so slow.
Because I grow organically. Like I tried the whole like promoting myself nonstop and putting my links in everybody's faces and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't do anything. Nobody cares. You gotta let people kind of discover you. Plus, I don't care about numbers. I'm not looking to have 1,000 followers and 2 people hanging out. Like, I care about my community and my chats being active, and that's really all it is. But yeah, I just hit 500, so I'm pretty proud of that. But like the other people I started with are like twice ahead of me. Like, God damn it, I can't sell people on hanging out with an old streamer, even if I have this kind of like youthful energy. People are like, that guy.
To be honest with you, at the end of the day, with streaming, it's obviously a bit different. The hardest part is probably networking. That is probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
You can highly recommend people coming along to a GoshJosh stream.
I can make friends with anybody, honestly. Like if we talk, like, and we talk about real shit in my streams. I'm there to like help you with your issues and day to day, and like also we're gonna laugh and play games. I'm gonna act like a lunatic. So like it's a little mix of both, and that's what people look for.
And that's obviously your persona, isn't it? That's obviously what your
What's that?
That's obviously what your persona is. You know.
And it's not. But the thing is, it's not even an act. I am the most natural, like on stream. This is me, like being myself. Because when out of this, I have to act a certain way at work. I have to act a certain way when I'm my wife because she finds this kind of like ADHD person like annoying, and I get it. I'm fucking annoying, but it's like I have fun. So this is me having fun being myself.
Okay,
like, that's it.
So you don't have a persona then?
No, it's not. I'm not trying to be anything. I am bipolar. I do have my moodiness. I have my manic behaviors. When I'm in mania, you know, I never get rage filled or anything like that. It's not bipolar like I'm switching moods nonstop.
Yeah.
I go through these periods where I'm in hypomania, and I just get more elevated. I get more energetic. I get more talkative, like rapid fire speech and like jokes nonstop and sarcasm, and it's just people find that fun. So my mania is actually like, you know, just an elevated version of me. It's interesting.
So that's a bit like me then. A bit like me. Like me. I do have part persona because I basically keep my personal and my private, you know, my stream life separate. Other than that, I'm me.
Yeah.
Other than that.
And that's what people want to see is really just you being yourself on camera. Like, be natural, be yourself, and just don't try it too hard. It's all these like hype guys out there that drive me nuts, where they're just hype, let's go. I'm like, fucking, oh, come on, you're wearing me out. Let's not go. Let's calm down. Let's talk about things. Take a break, man. Breathe.
So obviously, if obviously you saw a streamer that was like all hype. Hey,
laughing
the first
at
Josh.
In chat. Yeah, there's my buddy Josh.
Depends on how old you are to be the first Josh.
That's one of my Josh army. I had a pretty big Josh army that was growing. We had 5 or 6 members, but it's kind of down to I think 3 or 4 members now. Maybe 4. I think we got 4 plus me, the Josh army. Yeah.
So obviously,
just stupid
depends.
Shit we
but
do.
the first Josh depends on how old you are to be the first Josh.
Yeah, he's not. I'm older than him.
Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, literally though. Obviously, depends on how old you are. Because I'm 30. He's older than me, so he's the first Josh in this.
I've let him wear the crown. He can be the first Josh, but I still call the shots. He knows who's boss.
He knows who the boss.
You know what's cool about first Josh? Yeah. He's the one that donates all my Steam codes to give away. Really? All the Steam codes I throw at people, he's constantly feeding me new codes. So he's the donator of a lot of the games that I give away and stuff. He's a cool guy.
Ah, fair enough. So, anybody in your streamer? Like in your community?
Oh no! I tried to build up this community, gaming community here in this small town that I'm in. I'm about an hour from Sacramento, California, the capital.
Yeah.
And it's just a small little gold mining tourist town. And I was like, well, let's find some gamers in it. So I organized this game group on Facebook, and I had about 600 members that joined. Wow. And nobody cares to talk about games. Nobody seems to collect like I do. Nobody streams. They all think I'm an idiot posting my clips and streams. Like, it's just not a gaming area around here, and I can't get the group to really turn into anything. So I feel pretty singled out around my area. I don't know anybody else that's as into gaming that I am. Yeah. I got a few buddies that kind of play and stuff, but I think I'm too much for this area.
You know,
I don't know anybody else.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's kind of a small town, and I don't know I just don't know any gamers really.